All right, welcome back to Fabbin Adventures, guys. Today's going to be a pretty interesting episode. We've got a light bar to review and install, and an 8-gang switch to review and install. So I just want to say that Simon at Auxbeam, he generously supplied me with this here 32-inch 5D Pro light bar. This bad boy's putting out 33,000 lumens. I cannot wait to get this on the Samurai. They also provided me with the 8-gang switch to install and show the install, a bit of a review and whatnot on it. And then we're going to take it out in the bush. You're going to see on a couple of upcoming episodes coming up where we're doing some hunting, and we'll be definitely putting this stuff to use. It's going to be awesome. I kind of already hooked it up to a battery outside the shop and shined it down the driveway at night, and this thing is super bright. It's awesome. So let's get after this and let's have a little closer look at what we have here, and then we'll get to installing. Okay, so what we have here is a 32-inch 5D Pro Series light bar, and it's putting out 33,000 lumens. As you can see, it comes with everything you need. We have the full harness with really nice looking waterproof fittings. Everything looks very nice, actually. Nice and pliable wiring, doesn't seem hard. I haven't got it out in the cold yet to be able to tell, but their waterproof fittings and everything look really awesome. They also give you everything you need to install this. I don't think you'll have to have anything else. They give you the 8-gang switch. It's got a nice little screw type O-ring sealed fitting. They give you a couple of options to mount this. You can mount it right flat, right flush on your dash or wherever you intend to put it, or you can put it on this swivel fitting. It'll go on like that, and then you can pivot this wherever you need it. You'll see later on the install. They give you a whole whack of these different types of basically stickers to say you put them over top of these here and they light up and they tell you, so you know whether you're turning your rear lights on or your locker or, you know, like your air compressor. You know, they give you a whole whack of these little stickers to put on there. It's pretty cool. Then they have this fuse block here. Basically, it's like a relay fuse box system in there. They give you the main power cordage, main and ground, with a big fuse in there. They give you 2 extra 60 amp fuses for that. They also give you a whole whack of different types of fuses for your switch box. Your main cable that goes from your main switch to your switch box, and it's fairly long. I never measured out how long it is, but it's plenty long to go from high up on the headliner behind the top of the windshield by the rear view mirror all the way down into the engine bay, no problem. They give you all your hardware that you're going to need. You got your mounts here for the light bar. They give you a whole bunch of little zip ties here. I mean, it should be a pretty sweet little install. Now, one thing to know about it is these have an amp rating. Now, if I remember right, these two are 30 amp, so you can run 30 amp supply off of here. These two are 20 amp, these two are 10, and these two are 5 amp. So if you have something like a engine cooling fan or something like that, you need 20 or 30 amps, you're going to want to hook it to one of these switch panels here. And some small little LED lights, you can probably get away with the little 5 amp ones or whatever. So that's actually good to know that they are a rated switch, and they will correspond in your switch box. So your switch box is numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tells you positive, negative. You can flip it open, and it's simple as hooking your wires in, tightening them down, and you've got fuses that light up when they're blown. It's actually a pretty cool little system. So this little switch block here is going to do away with all of your relays. It'll do away with 8 of these relays. Typically you would wire something up that sucks a fair amount of draw, you'd wire a switch to your relay. You'd have your main power at the relay. You flick your switch, it triggers the relay triggers and sends the power to your accessory. Now, this thing is going to replace 8 of these. So you can imagine having a gang of 8 of these things and a whole mess of wiring. Now, it's super simple. This is all the wiring you're going to have. So you're going to have from the switch here, through this cord, the back of this cord hooks up to this switch block, and then all you're going to have is your wiring for your lights or your accessories or whatever goes into here. It's going to keep it super simple and super neat. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to get this in the old Samurai. Okay, let's head over to the website. Auxbeam specializes in auxiliary lighting. They have everything from LED driving lights to 6 and 8 gang switch panels, light bars to light bulbs by vehicle manufacturer, LED headlights, even horns and PA systems, all at great prices. So when you are outfitting your rig, give Auxbeam some consideration and head over to auxbeam.com. So the first thing you're going to want to decide is what type of mounting system you want to use, and they give you 2 different options. The old standby on the side mount, and you can swivel it whatever direction you want, or they have this T-slot. Seems a lot more of a solid mount, and it's simply you bolt this T-slot to this here swivel block, if you want to call it that, drops in the T-slot, put it where you need it, take the little grub screws, put them in there, tighten it down, and then you have a center bolt here. You can loosen that, and then that will allow you to pivot your light up and down. What I'm doing here is I'm just gonna make some marks, describe some marks on the side of these blocks so that I know where I want to tighten it down so that it'll work with the mesh up top here. You'll see in a minute. All right, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but there's a scribe line there and a scribe line there, and what that's for is so we can put this block in where it should be, right on the scribe lines. And then we just tighten these little grub screws. These little grub screws are either stainless or stainless coated or something. All the hardware looks to be stainless or stainless coated or whatever it is, which is actually pretty nice because sure sucks to have rusty looking bolts on the outside of your pride and joy. All right, so now that the little block is locked down, we can install the swivel block. It's actually a pretty simple little system. And then we can mount her to the roof rack. Now we'll just give these guys a snugging down. I've got it kind of slightly pointed down. We'll have to give her an adjustment once we're outside in the dark and tilt it up and down where we need it. That's pretty solid. Perfect. All right, we got her mounted. So now that we've got this baby in place, we can start figuring out where we want to mount the 8 gang switch and get everything hooked up there, and we'll be good to go. And on that 8 gang switch, I'm going to be hooking up my perimeter lights that I've got on the roof rack here. I've got these lights here. They'll be getting mounted. So it's going to take up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 switches, and the air pump will take up 6. I'll have 2 extra switches. It'll be perfect. Okay, so this is where I'm thinking I want to set it up. Is right up here above the mirror, right beside my mic. And these Samurais don't got a whole lot of room, so I think it'd be neat to have my switches up here. And for that, I'll be able to use this pivoting mount. And what I think I'm gonna have to do is probably cut out this mount a little bit to go around the mirror and bolt it down. Okay, so what I've done here is I've made a drag wire so that I can pull the switch wire down the A-pillar. And I just took a piece of mechanics wire and basically fished it down there. And now we're gonna pull the harness down through the A-pillar underneath the dash. All right, we get the primary mount on there. Now we just gotta mount the actual switch with the mount. And the cool thing is I don't gotta run a bunch of wires up to this switch because we just hook her together here. There we go. Push the fitting together, tighten the lock nut. There we go, all done. Now we can finish pulling our cable down so we have all the excess down below. All right, things are coming along nicely here. We're just gonna figure out how we wanna hook up the light bar. And I'm just gonna keep it right simple. Looks like I can run out the back end of the hood here and just come up and around here. And we wanna try and keep this stuff out of the way of sticks and twigs and whatnot. All right, now I think we're just gonna bundle this up nice, try and keep it neat and tidy. This here's the relay, and these here are your positive and negatives that go to the battery. They'll go up there. And we're just gonna try and keep basically the rest of this all bundled up. Nice and tidy, and this one goes to the cab. It's as simple as hooking up your ground and your positives, and away you go. You can see the difference before the light bar with the light bar. Wow, what a difference. Look at the extra focused beam you can see right in the center. That's them 3 magnifying circles. It makes a nice, like, defined high beam, sort of a long range spot sort of deal. All right, you can see I've got 6 outlets working. These 2 here are open. These are the 30 amp ones. And basically I got my right side lights, left side lights, back lights on the rack, the windshield lights, and then the light bar. All works pretty slick. The other cool thing is if you have all these on like this and you want to turn them off in one shot, you can hit the center off, on and off button. That's pretty darn cool. And it'll remember and it'll go right back to turn them off if you want to just take them off temporarily and turn them all back on. Pretty darn cool little system. And got a rear locker here. Once I get a front locker, then I'll put them in one of the other spots, and maybe the fridge that I have, I can put them in another spot. And maybe at some point I'll get another setup and run it somewhere else for more accessories. Super slick little system, man. You guys gotta check this out. It's so much nicer than the big cumbersome light switch, old school toggle type switch setup that I had. This is awesome. The other thing that it does is it's got a little eye here, and it's got them auto dimming. So in the daytime, it'll brighten this right up, and in the nighttime, it'll dim this down automatically for you. That's a pretty slick feature. As you can see, it comes with instruction manual on basically how to set it up, and it's pretty darn detailed. Shows you everything about it, how it works, shows you the auto dimming backlit, And then on the other side, it gives you the instructions basically to clean it, you know, to put your stickers on. And over here, the wiring diagram. I mean, it's well done, super simple, and it is really a pretty easy system to set up for yourself. I mean, pretty much anyone can do it. I'm no expert with wiring, that is for sure. And it was really simple. So we got the old Auxbeam 5D Pro Series light bar hooked up to the 8-gang accessory switch system that they provided for me, and everything works great. Flawless system, very simple to set up. I mean, you guys should check it out. If you're interested in picking some of this stuff up, go ahead, hit the link, and purchase through the link. It'll help me out just a little bit. I get a wee percentage. So if you guys are liking this sort of content, go ahead, subscribe, share, like these videos. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like. Make sure you hit notifications. Catch you guys next Sunday.